Afternoon. We'd like to stress, first and foremost, as a representative of fire rescue, safety. As the fire marshal, this office is charged with fireworks. The distinct difference between the fireworks and sparklers, the sparkler is anything that stays on the ground and just emits a shower of sparks. The governor has allowed 3 times a year the use of fireworks, which is anything that makes an explosion or is self-propelled in the air. That's the distinct difference. And he is allowing fireworks 3 times a year, the 4th of July, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. We'd just like to really draw your attention, although we'd like you to watch a pre-staged professional fireworks shoot, due to COVID, majority of those have been canceled. Assembly venues are also canceled. So we know that you're going to be home, wanting to get out, wanting to celebrate this nation's extreme holiday. We ask that you do several things to make it safer if you do choose to use fireworks bought at a licensed fireworks vendor. One of the main things we ask is that you keep a bucket of water, usually a 5-gallon pail. That will be used for any firework that has gone off. You can then discard it in the bucket of water, or any firework is a big concern of ours that doesn't ignite. Please do not relight or try to reignite a firework that we would call a dud. Those need to go into the bucket and be disposed of once they're saturated with water so they can't be reignited. Children should be kept away from all sparklers. Social distancing is 6 feet. We'd ask that you social distance for fireworks in the area of 25 to 50 feet from each other. A competent adult should be the only one igniting a firework and showing the display. The safest place to watch would be from inside your home through the front window. We ask that you stay away from open areas of land where there's a chance that dry brush could ignite. Firework lit by someone who's not a professional has no control over where the firework will land. Many homes in South Florida have wood roofs, highly combustible. We do not want you to be responsible for igniting your neighbor's roof. Another concern that animal control has is fireworks spook animals. There's the highest rate of the year that dogs become loose and will run away due to fireworks. Please be cognizant of your neighbors, their concerns, and their safety as well. As fire rescue representative and fire marshal, please have a safe 4th of July. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Dorita. Excellent update. We look forward to having you back on an ongoing basis to keep this community informed. I want to talk about some unique issues going on in our county at this point in time. I'm reminded of a quote by President Roosevelt during World War II, and he said that the priority situation, meaning World War II, in the National Defense Program may require restrictions on the productions of fireworks. That was one of the issues that World War II made it difficult to produce fireworks because that was going to ammunition. We are in the midst of a pandemic right now, and while we can celebrate the 4th of July with fireworks, this is my first time in public addressing the issue of closing the beaches in Palm Beach County. Much like our neighbors to the south, Broward and Miami-Dade counties, and as did Martin County to our north. I'm very cognizant, having been born and raised in Palm Beach County, of the deep connection we all have with the beaches. It is unfortunate that the beaches had to be closed. It's not something that I can apologize for because it's in the best interest of the public safety. Having said that, the beaches are closed, and it is done by executive order, and it is with the force of law. I know that there are people in our community that endeavor to not obey the law. That is an unfortunate thing, especially during the time of a pandemic. But having consulted with the sheriff and with the several chiefs of police within the county that border the beaches and their coastal towns, I can assure you that an operational plan is in place to ensure compliance with the law. Public health is first and foremost. We are under a state of an emergency. I told you earlier that this day 111 of activation of our EOC. Please stay off the beaches. Our resources, our law enforcement resources, our fire rescue resources, those resources are better utilized, not having to get people to comply with what is a very basic order. The beaches will open up, I anticipate, immediately after the holiday weekend. We're also under phase 1 of the governor's order. I'd like to talk briefly about the COVID Education and Compliance Team. The COVID Education and Compliance Team is made up of law enforcement representatives and officials from Boca Raton, Boynton Beach, Jupiter, West Palm Beach, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, our Fire Rescue, and County Code Enforcement. And a special thanks to Dave Bernhardt and Patrick Rudder from County Administration and in my office who have led that effort. They are gearing up to be out there tonight They've been out there almost every night in the past 2 weeks. They will be out during the entire pendency of the holiday weekend. And what their job has been and what their job is going to be going forward is emphasis on education. Now, I want to inform the community of a couple of really great actors that we've had. And just so you know, if there are issues in your community with compliance with the Phase 1 restrictions in businesses, restaurants, things of that nature, you can call 561-24-COVID. And that line is monitored. We've received over 14,000 pieces of information and inquiries to that line, and we process them there here in the Emergency Operations Center, and then the COVID Education and Compliance team goes out. We did receive complaints against Guanabanas, Utiki, Lenora's, Avocado Grill, Bush Wildlife, and Loggerhead. I shouldn't say that we received complaints against Bush Wildlife and Loggerhead, but I wanted to give props to these businesses because we did go out and inspect them. There were some not adherence to the Phase 1 restrictions, but we educated them, and they were very thankful about that, and we gone out and re-inspected them. And Guanabanas, Utiki, and Lenora's Avocado Grill all are doing an excellent job. So we appreciate that mistakes are made, but please work with our COVID education and compliance team to get back into compliance. This is where it's out in the community. As Phase 1 opens, we know that this is where the community spread goes. And I know that none of this is intentional, but compliance with the law is exceptionally important, and probably more important on a holiday weekend where we have increased crowds and people off work and a very festive spirit. We did also do inspections last night of Bush Wildlife and Loggerhead, and they are doing an excellent job of complying with the law. I cannot go through all the inspections that have been done, except to say that the inspections have been exhaustive. The education and compliance team has distributed thousands of pieces of PPE, such as masks, hand sanitizers, educational brochures, partitions, things of that nature. And by and large, it's been very well received by the business community, and we appreciate their commitment to following the Phase 1 rules. The COVID education compliance team will continue to do their good work as we go through the holiday weekend. Again, 4th of July will not be spent on the beaches here in Palm Beach County, but there are a litany of other healthy, exciting, and respectful ways to honor our country's heritage and the formation of this incredible union. Let me speak briefly about the standing orders through the executive orders here in Palm Beach County. We know that the mask order was passed unanimously. I'll pre-answer a question from the press that we gave an opportunity to the press to email questions so that we could answer them here today. Yes, we're aware of the lawsuit. Yes, we're aware of the passions by the objectors of the mask ordinance or the mask executive order. We feel that we're well within our inherent authority as a government to pass that emergency mandate. It will be narrowly tailored, and it's the time that it will be in effect will be closely monitored both by the Board of County Commissioners and our County Administrator, Ms. Virginia Baker. We will respond to that lawsuit through the normal course of litigation, and from there I won't comment further on active litigation. There has been questions posed by the press about the executive orders in Broward and Miami-Dade counties. They recently took action to close all restaurants, whether they're serving alcohol or not, after 12 o'clock at night. I think those orders already went into effect in Broward and Miami-Dade counties in anticipation of the holiday weekend. It is my understanding that those orders will be standing orders, and the restrictions in place. Very good compliance with the mask mandate. We are hopeful that in 7 to 14 days in the future, we start to see some really good numbers in terms of the dropping of infection rates, the dropping of aggregate rates per day, and dropping of the COVID-related illnesses in our hospitals and in our ICU systems. With respect to our hospitals right now, we have sufficient capacity. We average about 75% of our beds being occupied and about 75.6% of our ICU beds being occupied. We do not want to get closer to that surge capacity because, as I've stated before, the public health comes first in this county, and we will do whatever we need to do to preserve the health, safety, and welfare of our constituents. We do not want to see a regression of our opening of our economy, so I ask and plead for the continued cooperation and understanding of our community during this difficult time. Before I go any further and then close this public comment portion, I wanted to ask our public affairs staff if there were any other questions that came in from the press. Very good. So I'm cognizant that this is a difficult 4th of July for this county. It's a difficult 4th of July for the state and for this country. There are other ways to show patriotism rather than waving the flag and being at the beach and having a barbecue. I mentioned at the opening of this press conference that we will hit 15,000 positive cases in this county. We are nearing 500 deaths already. This spread of this virus isn't limited to Palm Beach County. It gives me no comfort that other counties are in worse situations. It gives me no comfort that other counties are in better situations. We are in this together and we are a team. There are other ways and other activities that we can participate in, and if I may humbly say, having been born and raised in this county and having spent probably most of my 4th of Julys at the beach, very close with family, with no limitations, and that not being the case here in Palm Beach County or really anywhere in the country, to be fair, this is an opportunity for us to gather in our backyard safely with our families. It's an opportunity to discuss with our children how we gained our independence as a country. It's an opportunity to discuss how we kept our independence as this country. We can remember those who have made sacrifices, both here and abroad. We can talk about Iwo Jima and Normandy. We can tell our children and teach our children the right way to be a civic-minded and patriotic member of this community and of this country that we all love so much. I would like to give a special thanks to our law enforcement officers and our fire rescue and first responder personnel. We've had to increase patrols and increase staffing during this 4th of July weekend. They don't get to be with their families. So we appreciate their sacrifice. We appreciate their commitment to public safety. When they interact with you, we're putting them in harm's way just by the mere fact that they may be infected with COVID by a positive resident of this community. So please be cognizant of obeying the law. It is required to wear a mask. It is required that you not utilize the beaches. It is required that as you go into businesses in the community that you follow the rules and the regulations of Phase 1. I can promise you that the business community is well aware of these regulations and they will assist you in ensuring a safe time at whatever business that you're at. Happy 244th birthday, America. I look forward to speaking to this community in the near future, but during the meantime, have a wonderful 4th of July. Please be safe, and thank you for your commitment to public safety.